So as you may know, if you're a big fan of Spider-Man, like I imagine most of my subscribers being, you know Kingpin is one of Spider-Man's most formidable foes because of the power he not only has in terms of strength, but as well over the public and as well the criminal underworld in that of New York City. And from today's news, it's looking like Kingpin is going to be running for mayor and get elected, but this will impact multiple projects throughout the MCU like a butterfly effect. So let's talk about it. Just keep in mind anything that is not confirmed by official sources like Kevin Feige or anybody from Marvel Studios are just rumors to take with a grain of salt. But with that, this is coming from Cosmic Circus, who from my knowledge does have a great track record, and as well another article from the Direct. So before we get into the articles, I do want to remind you guys what the MCU like currently has in like their lineup. There's a lot of grounded street level stories coming out like Echo, Daredevil Born Again, Thunderbolts, Captain America New World Order, Armor Wars, and of course the very highly anticipated Spider-Man 4. So with that, Cosmic Circus made an article talking about basically Kingpin's rise to power in the MCU. They referenced the direct string of articles on Kingpin where they heavily rumor that Vincent D'Onofrio's story as Wilson Fisk will revolve around him obtaining political power by running for mayor of New York City. Cosmic Circus goes on to say, according to their sources, this is true. Wilson Fisk will be running for mayor and get elected, but this won't be a one project storyline. This will span across multiple projects. So this isn't gonna, they're not gonna introduce it in one project and then like end the arc in the same project. They also say that this will impact multiple projects directly and other projects indirectly, which is interesting. We're gonna break all of this down, but I'm just gonna give you the news first. One source specified that this storyline will mirror elements from Devil's Reign in the comics, and for clarification, it's implied that street level stories of the MCU will tackle more mature themes similar to Netflix, but different of course, since it's the MCU, they do things their own way. This storyline of Kingpin running for mayor will start in Echo apparently, and likely that Wilson Fisk will get elected as mayor of New York City in Daredevil Born Again. In the aftermath of Daredevil Born Again and exploring him actually being mayor will be explored in Spider-Man 4. They go on to say that several of their sources informed them that Kingpin's true motive behind running for mayor is so that he can essentially rid the New York City streets of street level vigilantes that could ruin his plans and threaten his rule. And there's a number of vigilantes on his list, but the top of his list consists of Hawkeye, Kate Bishop's Hawkeye, Daredevil or Matt Murdock, and Spider-Man. They then go on to the more indirect connections to other projects like Armor Wars or like Captain America, Thunderbolts. We don't know the ramifications this storyline will have on like those projects indirectly, but I do have like theories and we'll get into those. But first, let's break most of that down and we'll get to some of my theories. So first off, this is a great idea for like a number of reasons, but I do also want to mention Vincent D'Onofrio has made it very clear he wants to fight Spider-Man, and if opportunity arises, he will beat Spider-Man's ass. But some context, if you don't know, in the comics there's a storyline called Devil's Reign, which was mentioned in the article by Cosmic Circus, and basically Kingpin ran for mayor of New York City so that he can outlaw vigilantes, and this is essentially what the MCU seems to be doing, and this opens the door in the MCU for so many different storylines and just like a big butterfly effect. This is going to impact the MCU in like so many ways, and I do think this whole thing of them adapting this in the MCU is true because we have gotten set photos of Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin dressing very politician-like. I'll throw those up on the screen right here. In terms of the people at the top of his list though, actually speaking of Kate Bishop, I at first thought why Kate Bishop at the top of his list, but I did forget for a moment that's where they introduced Kingpin into the MCU, and Kate Bishop fought Kingpin at the end of Hawkeye. I thought that was random the way they kind of introduced Kingpin, just a little random, but ultimately they gotta start somewhere, and like the fight was pretty cool, at least I thought. So now with that, what does this mean? Will Kingpin have like the police hunting for these vigilantes? I mean, chances are yeah, but like more than likely he's doing this so that he can set up villains to come out of the woodworks to all attack Daredevil, Hawkeye, Spider-Man, by Kingpin contracting people, whether he do that under the table as Kingpin illegally or legally as the mayor. Probably legally as the mayor though, for most people, like maybe Kate Bishop, Hawkeye, Daredevil. I imagine illegally for Spider-Man if Spider-Man gets in his way enough. I think this could end up setting up the MCU Sinister Six as well. Again, Spider-Man, that would be insane with the Sinister Six. Maybe not in Spider-Man 4, because I think that's too soon. I think maybe in Spider-Man 5 or even 6 possibly. And also, speaking of setting up a team, One of my theories regarding the Thunderbolts is that Kingpin will actually set up the Thunderbolts and give them government approval so that they can go after whoever or whatever superhero Kingpin wants out of the picture, or maybe multiple teams of Thunderbolts. We can have like the main Thunderbolts, like the actual Thunderbolt team with like all the original members, and as well they can have like a second team of Thunderbolts, and that could be like, you know, the Sinister Six for Spider-Man, or like whatever other group for another superhero, or like whatever, you know what I mean. I think that would be pretty cool, and that could work really well. I do wonder if they will introduce someone like Captain Yuri Watanabe or Captain Jean DeWolf of the New York City Police Department, since of course Fisk rules over the cops in New York, but Yuri or DeWolf usually befriend Spider-Man, so that could be an interesting storyline to have in like the MCU Spider-Man as well, with like, you know, like obviously Kingpin rules over like the cops, but like Yuri or DeWolf could maybe either be like, nah, Kingpin's cool or whatever, or maybe they could actually be onto him with Spider-Man, and like, you know, they could try to be, they could be trying to take him down as well, or like, you know, like I think that would be a pretty cool storyline, but that's just like speculation, like wishful thinking on my part. But with all that, this is like the perfect opportunity for the MCU to have Kingpin hire Matt Gargan to become the Scorpion to go out and get Spider-Man. But like I've said before, I don't think Scorpion could carry a film by himself, so there definitely has to be at least 2 villains for Spider-Man to take down in an MCU Spider-Man 4. But this as well perfectly sets up why Spider-Man and Daredevil would want to team up in Spider-Man 4, and since Marvel and Sony usually have that contract of needing MCU characters in Spider-Man MCU films, this works out perfectly for the studios, the fans, the best of both worlds, am I right? Another factor I just thought of actually too is J. Jonah Jameson. He's likely to be in Spider-Man 4 as well, and he could he's definitely going to be supporting Wilson Fisk and his goal as mayor of New York City, trying to rid New York of vigilantes, especially Spider-Man. Something else I just remembered was that in the comics, Punisher was hired to take Spider-Man down as well, like when he was like first introduced, and with Fisk enforcing no vigilantes, heroes like Spider-Man would be breaking the law, and Punisher is all about if you break the law, you get a bullet to the dome. And Punisher is confirmed to be in the MCU and most likely in Daredevil Born Again, and that Spider-Man 4 will deal with the aftermath of Daredevil Born Again. And if you didn't know, we recently just covered Punisher possibly being in Spider-Man 4 as an antagonist, so this all checks out, seems to be pretty spot on, and if this does happen, we could have the Punisher, Scorpion, Kingpin as villains, along with Spider-Man and Daredevil team up in Spider-Man 4. This movie's shaping up to be pretty good, hopefully. I mean, like, everybody has our hopes up for the most part. But yeah, if all these rumors are true and stuff, like if they write everything correctly, like this could be like the best Spider-Man film ever in my opinion. I don't know about you, but I'm super excited for this. This is what the MCU needs right now in my opinion, especially like with all this multiverse shit going on. So what do you think of Kingpin becoming mayor of New York City, cracking down on vigilantes, and the setup for Daredevil Born Again, Spider-Man 4, and multiple other projects as well? Make sure you comment your opinion down below so I can discuss all that with you in the comment section. Thank you for taking time out of your day to click on this video. If you are new to the channel, I cover Spider-Man related scoops, rumors, leaks, confirmations for the games, TV shows, and movies like this video, and I try to upload as much as I can. So if any of that interests you, hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys want more of this type of content. Don't forget to check out my latest video on the left if you haven't already. I hope you have or had a good day and that you enjoyed the video. Until next time.